Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setup for today. So we have broken through the pretty important area that I gave you yesterday. For all intent purposes, we are still in a downward trend, so nothing really to write home about yet. If you look to the left, you will see a number of areas which are going to offer resistance. And let's pick up the ones that are closest. There they are. Still in a downward trend. Moves the upside. Oscillators also indicating we're a little bit tired, so I'd be a little bit skeptical about what we're seeing here. We did get a bit of a rejection, and then we've got a move to the upside. Looks like it's forming a triangle to me. Pretty much a similar picture to what we see on the DAX, but at the moment, 3-hour oscillators group to the upside. We still haven't basically taken out the highs. There's the previous high that we need to take out, and the other thing is that we do have this inverse head and shoulders potential that has formed, but we do need to clear this area. And if we can't clear this area, then I would expect us to pull back, come and close the gap to the downside, and probably form a bigger range. This trend line, and just make sure we're all on the same page here. If I come to the weekly, there is the trend line there. Okay, so it is very, very important. Look at that weekly bar. This area that we're looking at the upside, we do need to clear it on the weekly for us to get some confidence that this is now a continuation of the longer uptrend that we have in place. So that's moving all the way down to the hour area that we need to pay attention to. Yesterday was yet another big up and down day, and it's been like that for the last 3 days. You can see lots of big up and downs there, big up and downs there, big up here, down, up, so complete confusion. We need to clear the area to the upside, so we need to clear the highs of yesterday and find some supports up there. That would give me the confidence that we have a potential reversal that is been adhered to. Alternatively, if we start dropping back below this area of 32,344, that would validate a double top, and then I'd expect to move to the downside. So from a moving average perspective, we are pretty much we've got a crossover. We've got almost 3 crossovers. Now the trick is we need to hold it. So if we can hold it, then we have a trend brewing. Oscillators at the moment not agreeing with that at all. So sort of almost a double top on the oscillators as well. So what we could see here is just a return back down to test this area. It is a very important area. So 32,344, and basically for the week we need to see if we can stay above that. If we close below that, then there's probably more downside coming, at least this gap to be tested. If we can stay above it this week, then I suspect we are going to be looking to take out the next level and then sort of testing these previous highs up here. So still a bit 50-50 for me. Might as well, situation of tossing the coin and maybe getting a trade. But if we look at the 15 minutes, for all intents purposes here, we are in an uptrend on the 15 minutes. Pretty clear. So what you'd be wanting to do is to be buying off pullbacks. Now, there is a pullback right over here. There's a little gap here as well. That's kind of what I would expect. Move back here if we start seeing some price action. Good opportunity for a long. But I'd be looking for an inside bar or a pin bar or something off the level, sort of giving you probably a 100-point stop loss for around 127-point gain. We do need to clear this 32,725. That's the area to pay attention to. Oscillators on all the higher time frames is a little bit tired, so be very cautious. But 15-minute trades, definitely opportunities to trade. And you can see, if you are taking the trades, make sure you've got your target areas. If you take this trade here, above the pin bar and the break, you had a 100-point stop loss, and that would have been my take profit area, which is 155 points. Just because of the volatility that we've been seeing pretty much for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, and that's kind of me at the moment. Really cautious. I don't like what I see on the DAX. I'm not really comfortable with what I'm seeing here. S&P is looking interesting, but it's all to play for right now. We have to stay above 32,344. Otherwise, that is going to be a weekly rejection of that trend line. Let's come back to the weekly, so you see what I mean. So that would be a weekly rejection of that trend line, or this area of potential support, and then we're looking for a pretty big move to come and target, well, probably that area first, and then this area here, and then there's a gap down here as well. So yeah, I think I'll stay out of this for now. Let's wait and see if we're going to reject this area, or if we're going to clear this area. If we clear it and we find support, then definitely looking for continuation to the upside. If we reject it, looking for a move to the downside. And the weekly also looking like a potential pin bar with a close above it, which would just be a validation bar, which would be a perfect situation for longer term longs. Okay, so anyway, I think we're probably going to have the same today of big ups and big downs. So if you're on the lower time frames, just pay attention to where your levels are. Place your limit orders in, make sure your stop area is close and as close as possible, and take the trades that way. And if you're wrong, take the stop. Don't try and move it around, because this thing can move very quickly in either direction at the moment. Okay, so hold on to your hats, and let's see what happens today. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.